Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranams. Thank you so much for singing Mangalacharan so very beautifully. So, all of us can sing Mangalacharan. I'm sure all of us would be singing at home as well. So, whoever would like to sing, you can let me know. Every day, one of you could sing Mangalacharan before we begin our class. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mutmanikam Prabhuji. So, we will get started. So we started with reading Bhagavad Gita shlokas yesterday. So we've read the first shloka of Bhagavad Gita, 1.1. How many of you revised the shloka? Shloka 1 of chapter 1 in Bhagavad Gita. How many of you have done, have read the shloka? How many of you are familiar with
read
it? Hari Bol Ekampar Prabhuji, very nice. How about the others? Were you able to at least revise once the shloka?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, nice. Would anyone like to recite the shloka now in Sanskrit?
I will do, Mataji.
What's the shloka? Yes, Prabhuji, go ahead. Hare Krishna.
धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समावेत युयुत्सः तव मामक पाण्डवश्चैव किम् अकुर्त्वा Sanjaya.
Kim akurvata Sanjaya. So you'll have to start by saying Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Okay, because Dhritarashtra is asking that. Very nice. Hari Bol Ekampar Prabhuji. Yes, very beautiful. It's Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kim akurvata Sanjaya. That was the shloka we read yesterday. What is the meaning? Anyone is able to remember? What's the meaning of the shloka?
Dhritarashtra is asking his secretary Sanjaya.
Okay.
My sons and Pandu's son assembled on the Kurukshetra warfield. What did they do?
Yes.
It is quite natural that when they assembled in warfield, they are willing to fight.
Yeah. Desiring to fight, right? What did they do? Very nice. Thank you so much, Ekambar Prabhuji. So that's what it means. So the puppet says, let me share my screen.
धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेता युज्यः माम पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत संजय.
Hare Krishna, is my screen visible?
Yes, visible.
Yeah, so this was the shloka we read. And the meaning is, Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu. That is how he is distinguishing, right? He's calling his sons as the Kuru, and he's calling his own brother Pandu's sons as different people, though they are from the same lineage. And he's asking, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Right? So the puppet beautifully explains. Srila Prabhupada has written such an elaborate puppet, clearly saying, distinguishing why he calls that way, and what's the motive behind, why is Dhritarashtra even asking this question, what is running in his mind. Everything he has narrated so very beautifully in the puppet. If you have not read it so far, post this class, it will just take 2 minutes of your time. Go and read the puppet. Okay, so it's such a beautiful shloka. So we've read the first shloka yesterday. Today we will continue with the second shloka of chapter 1. Okay, so second shloka says, Sanjaya Vacha Drishtvattu Pandavanikam Vyudam Duryodhanastata Acharyam Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit. Okay, so to what Dhritarashtra has asked, Sanjaya is responding here now. So the meaning is Sanjaya said, O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words. So the puppet, what is Srila Prabhupada saying? We'll read it together. So Dhritarashtra was blind from birth. Unfortunately, he was also bereft of spiritual vision. He knew very well that his sons were equally blind in the matter of religion. And he was sure that they could never reach an understanding with the Pandavas, who were all pious since birth. Still, he was doubtful about the influence of the place of pilgrimage, and Sanjaya could understand his motive in asking about the situation in the battlefield. Sanjaya wanted therefore to encourage the despondent king and thus assured him that his sons were not going to make any sort of compromise under the influence of the holy place. Sanjaya therefore informed the king that his son Duryodhana, after seeing the military force of the Pandavas, at once went to the commander in chief Dronacharya to inform him of the real position. Although Duryodhana is mentioned as the king, he still had to go to the commander on account of the seriousness of the situation. He was therefore quite fit to be a politician. But Duryodhana's diplomatic veneer could not disguise the fear he felt when he saw the military arrangement of the Pandavas. So it's a small but beautiful puppet, which clearly demonstrates what is running in the mind of Dhritarashtra, how Sanjaya perceived it, and also how Sanjaya beautifully responds it to, through Dhritarashtra. And he also clearly narrates how Duryodhana approached the situation, what was the immediate action he took, and all of that is kind of beautifully narrated. So it's a beautiful shloka. Please read it and come for the class tomorrow. Okay, it's a small, simple shloka only. Chapter 1, all shlokas are very simple. So if you read it a couple of times, you'll get it. And the meanings are also very direct. It is not so very complicated to interpret or something, because the Sanskrit meaning is also like it says Sanjaya Uvacha, which means Sanjaya says, and Pandavanikam, Duryodhana. So the words are all pretty much direct. Raja, we most of it we'll be able to understand. So if you just correlate it with the synonyms here and read, then it will become even more easy, right? So uh, this is the shloka we have read today, shloka 1.2. Okay, second shloka of chapter 1. Hare Krishna. So we will continue with our book reading now. Is it clear?
Yes, Mataji.
Haribol. Wonderful. So please read and come for the class tomorrow. So we are going to now continue with the book reading. So we started the book Beyond Birth and Death yesterday, right? So we've started with the book. And how many chapters does this book have? Anyone remembers?
5 chapters.
5 chapters, yes. It's a very small book, but very powerful. And we are in chapter 1. What is the name of chapter 1?
We are
We are
not
not
this
this
body.
body.
We are not these bodies. Haribol. So, anyone remembers what are the points we read? Someone would like to quickly summarize what we read yesterday?
First, Paramatma residing our dwells in the body. So never be slain. That point first discussed. Then the living in the bodily conception, whatever the happiness and the sorrowness discussed, duality, that is called duality, and then consciousness discussed. Consciousness, once consciousness gone, then the body has no value. So always body has values with the soul, that discussed. Then the discussed about the Sankaracharya philosophy and the Buddhism philosophy difference discussed. And other than that, this what is called these senses only observing the duality and not the super soul and the soul. That also discussed. And then a body only composes senses and the soul has nothing.
Hmm.
Soul is the only watcher and Paramatma is the approver and watcher. And then Purusha and this enjoyer and Prakriti also somewhere discussed. Then the Veda, regarding the condition of Veda, how the Satchidananda, that point we discussed.
Hmm.
So that we have to discuss further. The three modes of nature, goodness, passion, ignorance, also discussed.
Haribol. Haribol Uttamanikam Prabhuji, you've summarized it so very beautifully. One question I wanted to ask: what is the meaning of the word Krishna? We discussed that as well, right? What does Krishna mean? Anyone?
Krishna is source of all pleasure.
Okay, but what is the meaning of the word Krishna? He has decoded that, right? Srila Prabhupada had narrated that so beautifully.
Krish means greatest.
Hmm.
Na
Now,
means pleasure.
yeah, the greatest pleasure. Haribol. Haribol Prabhuji, yeah, that's the greatest pleasure, right? So that is Krishna. So that is also decoded here. Somewhere I read it. Just a minute. I'm trying to find it.
It's on page number
Yeah,
1.
here. Yeah, the very name Krishna, which is non-sectarian, means the greatest pleasure. Krish means greatest, Na means pleasure. Krishna is the epitome of pleasure, and being part and parcel of him, we hanker for pleasure. A drop of ocean water has all the properties of the ocean itself, and we, although minute particles of the supreme whole, have the same energetic properties as the supreme, right? Haribol, so beautifully explained here. So, just wanted the rest of it. I think Mutmanikam Prabhuji has covered it very beautifully. Okay, very nice. So, we will continue from the next paragraphs today. So, yeah, we stopped here, right? Shri Krishna tells Arjuna that the regulative principles of the Vedas are meant to control the three modes of material nature, which is goodness, passion, and ignorance, and that is called as Sraigunya Vishaya Veda. However, Krishna is advising Arjuna to establish himself in his pure constitutional position as spirit soul beyond the dualities of the material nature. Right? So we stopped here. So we'll continue with this today. Who would like to read? Please raise your hands. Hare Krishna. Who would like to read first? Hare Krishna. Okay, I don't see anybody's hands raised. I'll just call out in random order. Yeah. Padma Mataji, yes. Go ahead, Mataji. I see your hand raised. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Padma Mataji. Mataji, you're not audible. Okay. Muttamanikum Prabhuji, would you like to start? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Madaji.
Go ahead.
As we have already pointed out, these dualities, such as heat and cold, pleasure and pain, arise due to the contact of the senses with their objects. In other words, they are born of identification with the body. Krishna indicates that those who are devoted to enjoyment and power are carried away by the words of the Vedas, which promise heavenly enjoyment by sacrifice and regulated activity. Enjoyment is our birthright, for it is the characteristic of the spirit soul. But the spirit soul tries to enjoy materially, and this is mistake. Everyone is turning to material subjects for enjoyment. and is compiling as much knowledge as possible. Someone is becoming a chemist, physicist, politician, artist, or whatever. Everyone knows something of everything or everything of something, and this is generally known as knowledge. But as soon as we have leave the body, all of the knowledge is vanquished. In a previous life, one may have been a great man of knowledge, but in this life, he has to start again by going to school and learning how to read and write from the beginning. Whatever knowledge was acquired, whatever knowledge acquired, Mataji, screen not visible,
Is it visible now, Prabhuji?
not
Is
visible.
it visible?
Now can.
Correct.
Whatever knowledge, yes,
Yeah.
whatever knowledge was acquired in the previous life is forgotten. The situation is that we are actually seeking eternal knowledge, but this cannot be acquired by this material body. We are all seeking enjoyment through these bodies, but bodily enjoyment is not our actual enjoyment. It is artificial. We have to understand that if we want to continue in this artificial enjoyment, we will not be able to attain our position of eternal enjoyment. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhamma Pranam.
May I
Yes,
Mataji?
Bhagyalakshmi Mataji. Continue,
The
Mataji.
body
Hare
must be considered a disease condition. A disease man cannot enjoy himself properly. A man with jaundice jaundice for instance will taste sugar candy as bitter, but a healthy man can taste its sweetness. In in their in in either case the sugar candy is the same, but according to our condition to tastes different. Unless we are cured or uh, unless we are cured of the same, but according to our condition it tastes different. Unless we are cured of this disease,
Conception.
conception of bodily life, we cannot taste the sweetness of spiritual life. Indeed, it will taste bitter to us. At the same time, by increasing our enjoyment of material life, we are further complicating our diseased condition. A typhoid patient cannot eat soiled food, and if someone gives it to him to enjoy and he eats it, he is further complicating his melody and his condition endangering.
Endangering his life.
Sorry, Mataji. I have fear. Endangering his life. If we really want freedom from the miseries of material existence, we must minimize our bodily demands and pressures. Sorry, Mataji, I have fear. Stage fear.
No, Mataji, you're reading really well. So you just have a lot of fear. But if you
Yeah,
read,
Mataji, that's where my problem. Thank you,
you're reading
Mataji.
well. Reading well, very nice. So tomorrow, what you can do, Mataji, you know, right? What page we are stopping, where we are going to continue. You read it up front and you come. You practice once and you come. Then you will
Okay, Mataji.
get the confidence, Mataji.
When
Haribol,
I
very nice,
open the
Mataji.
mute, that time I have fear, Mataji.
No, Mataji, you're reading
Sorry.
well, Mataji. No need for any fear. You're reading really well.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat pranams, Mataji. Hari bol ji. Okay. So, Padma Mataji, is your issue sorted? Would you like to try once now? Hare Krishna, Padma Mataji. Mataji, we can't hear. Maybe would you like to rejoin once, Mataji? Disconnect and rejoin. I think then you should be able to. Okay. So next, Krishna Das Prabhuji, would you like to read Hare Krishna?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Actually, material enjoyment is not enjoyment at all. Real enjoyment does not cease. In the Mahabharata, there is a verse, Ramante Yogino Anante, to the effect that the yogis, Yogino, those who are endeavoring to elevate themselves to the spiritual platform, are actually enjoying Ramante, but their enjoyment is Anante, endless. This is because their enjoyment is in relation to the supreme enjoyer, Rama, Sri Krishna. Bhagavan Sri Krishna is the real enjoyer, and the Bhagavad Gita 5.29 confirms this. Bhoktaram yagna tapasam sarvalokam maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam jnatva mam shantim rushyate. The sages, knowing me as the ultimate enjoyer of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. Bhoga means enjoyment, and our enjoyment comes from understanding our position as the enjoyed. The real enjoyer is the Supreme Lord, and we are enjoyed by Him. An example of this
Hare
relationship
Krishna
can
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Very nice. Pranams. Ekambar Prabhuji, would you like to continue next? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. An example of this relationship can be found in the material world between the husband and the wife. The husband is the enjoyer Purusha and the wife is the enjoyed Prakriti. The word Prakriti means woman, the object. The enjoyment, however, is participated in both by the
Purusha,
husband and wife.
you missed a line. The word
Yes.
pre means woman. Purusha or spirit is the subject, and Prakriti or nature is the object.
The
You
enjoyment,
can continue
however,
from
is
there, Prabhuji.
participated in
The
both
enjoy-
by the husband and the wife. When actual enjoyment is there, there is no distinction that the husband is enjoying more or the wife is enjoying less. Although the male is the predominator and the female is the predominated, there is no division when it comes to enjoyment. On a larger scale, no living entity is the enjoyer. God expanded into many, and we constitute these expansions. God is one without a second, but He willed to become many in order to enjoy. We have experienced that there is little or no enjoyment in sitting alone in a room talking to oneself. However, if there are five people present, our enjoyment is enhanced, and we can discuss Krishna before many people. The enjoyment is all the greater. Enjoyment means variety. God became many of his many for his enjoyment, and not thus our position is that of the enjoyed. That is our constitutional position. True and for the purpose of our creation, both enjoyer and enjoyed have consciousness. But the consciousness of the enjoyed
is subordinate.
is subordinate to the consciousness of the enjoyed. Although Krishna is the enjoyer and we the enjoyed, the enjoyment can be participated in equally by everyone. Our enjoyment can be perfected when we participate in the enjoyment of God. There is no possibility of our enjoying separately in the bodily platform. Material enjoyment on the gross bodily platform is described through Bhagavad Gita.
Hare Krishna.
Matasparsha tu Kaunteya
Hare Krishna.
Shitoshna Sukha Dukkha Da Agamampina Nityas Tams Tiktasva Bharata.
Danvat pranams, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Okay. So, Padma Mataji, is your issue sorted? Would you like to read now? Hare Krishna.
Just come in my mobile. Am I audible without
Yes.
echo?
Yes,
Okay.
Mataji, you are. You can read from the shloka.
Okay, Mataji. मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णसुखदुःखदाः आगमापायिनो नित्यास्तां तितिक्षस्व भारत. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of heat and cold, happiness and distress, and their disappearance in due course, are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O sign of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Gita 2.14. The gross material body is a result of the interaction of the modes of material nature, and it is doomed to destruction. अन्तवन्त इमे देहा नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः अनाशिनो अप्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत. Only the material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is subject to destruction. Therefore, fight, O descendant of Bharata. Gita 2.18. Thank you, Mataji. Should I
Thank
continue?
you, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So beautiful. Okay. So, Pushpa Mataji, would you like to read next? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, there may be some disturbance in between, little
No?
bit.
Yeah, no problem. Continue. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sri Krishna therefore encourage us to transcend the bodily conception of existence and attain to our actual spiritual life. Guna etan aditya trun deha dehi deha samudbhava janma mrityu jara dukkhir vimukto mrityum asnute. When the embodied being is able to transcend these three modes goodness, passion, and ignorance, he can become free from birth, death, old age, and their distress, and can enjoy nectar even in his life in this life. Gita 12.20. To
14.
establish sorry mother 14.20. To establish ourselves on the pure Brahma Bhuta spiritual platform above the three modes, we must take up the method of Krishna consciousness, the gift of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the chanting of name of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Facilitate this process. This method is called Bhakti Yoga or Mantra Yoga, and it is employed by the highest transcendentalists. How the transcendentalists realize their identity beyond birth and death, beyond the material body, and transfer themselves from the material universe to the spiritual universes are the subject of the following chapter. Hare Krishna Mataji Dandavat Pranam.
Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, Mataji. Haribol to all of you. We've completed our first chapter successfully. So we started yesterday and we've completed chapter 1 today. It's a small book and short chapters, but very meaningful. So please go through and come for the class tomorrow. So we have 15 more minutes. So we will start our chapter 2 today. Okay. We'll continue with chapter 2. Hare Krishna. So chapter 2 is titled Elevation at Death. Chapter 1 was We Are Not the Bodies. Chapter 2 is Elevation at Death. Okay. So we're starting with chapter 2. Hare Krishna. Haribol. So I see some of you have still not read. Leena Mataji, would you like to read? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Um, try.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Elevation of death. Elevation at death.
Yeah, just the first paragraph, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
The word yoga means to link up, and the yoga systems are meant to enable us to link with the transcendental world. As mentioned in the previous chapter, originally we are all connected to the Supreme Lord, but now we have been affected by material contamination. The process is that we have to return to the spiritual world, and that process of linking up is called yoga. Another meaning of the word yoga is plus. At the present moment, we are minus God or minus the Supreme. When we add Krishna or God to our lives, this human form of life becomes perfect. At the time of death, we have to finish that process of perfection. During our lifetime, we have to practice the method of approaching that perfection so that at the time of death, when we have to give up this material body, that perfection can be realized.
Very nice. Haribol Mataji, Danvat Pranams. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Purandar Das Prabhuji, would you like to read next? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Purandar Das Prabhuji. You're on mute, Prabhuji. Would you like to read? You'll have to unmute, Prabhuji. Okay, I think he's facing some issues. Yeah, Muttamanikam Prabhuji, you can read next. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Prayana kale manasachareena bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva भ्रुवोर् मध्ये प्रणाम आवेश्य सम्यक् चातं परं पुरुषम् उपैति दिव्यम्. One who at the time of death fixes his life here between the eyebrows and the full devotion engages himself in remembering the Supreme Lord will certainly attain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Gita 8.10. Just as a student studies, just as a student studies a subject for 4 or 5 years and then takes his examination and receives a degree, similarly with the subject of life, if we practice during our lives for the examination at the time of death, and if we pass the examination, we are transferred to the spiritual world. Our whole life is examined at the time of death. Yam yuvabi smaran bhavam yajati ante kalavaram tam yavaiti kaundeya sada tat bhava bhavitah.
Hare Krishna,
Whatever.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Okay, so Krishnadas Prabhuji, would you like to continue? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without toil. Gita 8.6. There is a Bengali proverb that says that whatever one does for perfection will be tested at the time of his death. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes what one should do when giving up the body. For the Dhyana Yogi meditator, Sri Krishna speaks the following verse. Yadaksharam Veda Vido Vyadanti Vishanti Yatayo Vitaragaha Yadichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Pravakshe Sarvadvarani Samyamya Manohriti Nirudhya Cha Murdhni Adhayatmanaha Pranam Astito Yoga Dharanam. Persons learned in the Vedas who utter Omkara and who are great sages in the renounced order enter into Brahman. Desiring such perfection, one practices celibacy. I shall now explain to you this process by which one may attain salvation. The yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements. closing all the doors of the senses and fixing the mind on the heart and the life air at the top of the head, one establishes himself in yoga. Gita 8.11 to 12. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat pranams. Very nice. Padma Mataji, would you like to continue? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. In the yoga system, this process is from there, no, Mataji? In the
Yes,
yoga
Mataji.
system, this process is called pratyahara, which means just the opposite. Although during life the eyes are engaged in seeing worldly beauty, at death one has to retract the senses from their objects and see the beauty within. Similarly, the ears are accustomed to hearing so many sounds in the world, but at the moment of death, one has to hear the transcendental Omkara from within. ओमित्येकाक्षरं ब्रह्म व्याहरन् माम् अनुस्मरन् यः प्रयाति त्यजन् देहात् तयाति परमां गतिम्. After being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of the supreme personality of Godhead and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. Gita 8.13. In this way, all
Hare
the
Krishna.
senses.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mataji. Ekambar Prabhuji, would you like to continue? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. In this way, all the senses have to be stopped in their external activities and concentrated on the form of Vishnumurti, the form of God. The mind is very turbulent, but it has to be fixed on the God in the heart. When the mind is fixed within the heart and the life air is transferred to the top of the head, one can attain perfection of yoga. At this point, the yogi determines where he has to go. In the material universe, there are innumerable planets, and beyond this universe, there is the spiritual universe. The yogis have information of these places from Vedic literature. Just as one going to America can get some idea what the country is like by reading books, one can also have knowledge of the spiritual planets by reading Vedic literature. The yogi knows all these descriptions and he can transfer himself to any planet he likes without the help of spaceships. Space travel by mechanical means is not the accepted process of elevation to other planets. Perhaps with a great deal of time, effort, and money, a few men may be able to reach other planets by material means, spaceships, spacesuits, etc. But this is a very cumbersome and impractical matter. In any case, it is not possible to go beyond the material universe by mechanical means. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat pranams. Bhagyalakshmi Mataji, would you like to continue next? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Bhagyalakshmi Mataji. You're on mute, Mataji. Okay, I think Bhagyalakshmi Mataji is facing some issue. Pushpa Mataji, would you like to continue next? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, ma'am. The generally accepted method for transfer to higher planet is the practice of the meditational yoga system or jnana system. The bhakti yoga system, however, is not to be predicted for transfer to any material planet. Or those who are servant of Krishna, the Supreme Lord, are not interested in any planets in this material world, because they know on on whatever planet one enters in the material sky, the four principles of the birth, old age, disease, and death are present. On higher planet, the duration of life may be longer on this longer than on this earth, but death is there. Nonetheless, by material universe, we refer to those planets where birth, old age, disease, and the death reside. And by spiritual universe, we refer to those planets where there is no birth, old age, disease, and death. Those who are intelligent do not try to elevate themselves to any planet within this material universe. Hare Krishna Mata Dandavat Pranam.
Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat pronouns. Very beautiful. Leena Mataji, would you like to continue next? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Leena Mataji. You're on mute, Mataji, if you're speaking. Okay, Leena Mataji is on mute. Bhagilakshmi Mataji, are you back? Would you like to read Hare Krishna? Okay. Purandadas Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, would you like to read? Okay. Padma Mataji, you can continue, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Me, Mataji, did you say Padma?
Yes, Mataji, I called out your name.
If one tries to enter higher planets by mechanical means, instant death is assured. For the body cannot stand the radical changes in atmosphere. But if one attempts to go to higher planets by means of the yoga system, he will acquire a suitable body for entrance. We can see it is demonstrated on this earth. For we know it is not possible for us to live in the sea in a watery atmosphere, nor is it possible for aquatics to live on the earth. As we understand that even on this planet, one has to have a particular type of body to live in a particular place. So, a particular type of body is required for other planets. On the higher planets, bodies live much longer than on Earth. For 6 months on Earth is equal to 1 day on the higher planets. Thus, the Vedas describe that those who live on higher planets live upward to 10,000 Earth years. Yet, despite such a long lifespan, death awaits everyone. Even if one lives 20,000 or 50,000, even millions of years in the material world, the years are all counted and death is there. How can we escape this subjugation by death? That is a lesson of the Bhagavad Gita. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन्नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. For the soul there is never birth nor death, nor once having been does he ever cease to be. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, undying and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. Gita 2.20. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dhanvat pronouns. Leena Mataji, are you back, Mataji? Would you like to read Hare Krishna? Hare Krishna, Leena Kumari Mataji. Okay. Bhagilakshmi Mataji, would you like to read next? Hare Krishna. Okay. Krishna Das Prabhuji, you can continue, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mata. We are spirit soul, and as such, we are eternal. Why then should we subject ourselves to birth and death? One who asks this question is to be considered intelligent. Those who are Krishna conscious are very intelligent because they are not interested in gaining entrance to any planet where there is death. They will reject a long duration of life in order to attain body like gods. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. Sat means eternal. Chit means full knowledge. And Ananda means full of pleasure. Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure. If we transfer ourselves from this body into the spiritual world, either to Krishna Loka, Krishna's planet, or any other spiritual planet, we will receive a similar Sachidananda body. Thus, the aim of those who are in Krishna consciousness is different from those who are trying to promote themselves to higher planets within this material world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanvat pronouns. Pushpa Mataji, would you like to continue next? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mata. Hare Krishna Mata. The self or soul of the individual is a minute spiritual spark. The perfection of yoga lies in the transferal of this spiritual spark to the top of the head. Having sorry, Mataji. Yes, Matai. Having attained this, the yogis can transfer himself to any planet in the material world according to his desire. If the yogi is curious to know what the moon is like, he can transfer himself there. Or if he is interested in higher planets, he can transfer himself there. Just as traveler to go to New York, Canada, and other cities on the earth. Whatever one goes on earth, he finds some visa and custom system operating. In all the material planets, one can similarly see the principles of birth, old age, disease, and death, and that operating. Hare Krishna Mata, Mata screen. Om iti
Visible
ika.
Mataji.
Yes, Mata. Om iti ikash Ikasaram Brahma. At the point of that, the yogi can pronounce Om, Omkar, the concise form of the transcendental sound vibration. If the yogi can vibrate this sound at, at the same time, remember Krishna or Vishnu, Mam Anusmaran, he attains the highest goal. It is the process of yoga to concentrate the mind on Vishnu. The impersonalists imagine same form of the Supreme Lord, but personalists do not imagine this. They actually see. Whatever one imagine him or actually sees him, one has to concentrate his mind on the personal form of the Krishna. Ananya Cheta Satam Yo Mam Smriti Nitya Saha Tasyaham Sulabham Partha Nitya
Sulabh.
Sulabh Partha Nitya Yukta Yogina. For one who remember me without deviation, I am easy to obtain. O son of Pratha, because of his constant engagement in the devotional service. Gita 8.14. Mata, may I continue for
Hare
the
Krishna
next?
Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mata, Nanda Pranam.
Very nice. Mutamanikam Prabhuji, would you like to continue? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Those who are satisfied with the temporary life, temporary pleasure, the temporary facilities are not to be considered intelligent, at least not according to the Bhagavad Gita. According to the Gita, one whose brain substance is very small is interested in temporary things. We are eternal. So, why should we be interested in temporary things? No one wants a non permanent situation. If we are living in an apartment and the landlord asks us to vacate, we are sorry, but we are not sorry if we move into better apartment. It is our nature because we are because
We are permanent.
we are permanent. Nor do we want to grow old or be diseased. We are permanent to want a permanent residence. We want to wish to die because in actually we are permanent. Nor do we want to grow old or be diseased because these are the external and non-permanent states. Although we are not meant to suffer from fever, sometimes fever comes and we have to take precautions and remedies to get well again. The threefold miseries are,
Fourfold miseries.
but that one not visible method. Fourfold miseries are like a fever, and they are all due to material body. If somehow we can get out the material body, we can escape the miseries that are integral with it.
Hare
Hare
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. So we'll stop with this today. We will continue the rest of it tomorrow. We're already delayed by 3 minutes. So tomorrow, same time, 9:15, we will start our class sharply. So please make sure you all join by 9:15. And make sure you revise whatever we've read till now. We've completed chapter 1 and chapter 2 also, almost like 60 to 70% we've completed. So go through this and come for the class, and we'll do a quick recap and continue with the rest of it. Also, make sure you go through Bhagavad Gita Shloka 1.2. Okay, so these are the requests I have. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll conclude the class. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय. हरे कृष्णा एवरीवन.
Hare
Dandi
Krishna
pranams.
Mataji, Dandevat.
Hare Krishna.
Dandi pranams so much.